Day 41 of my carnivore life, and it's day 3 of my lion diet. And I have to say, I learned a lot. I do feel better now, but I didn't a few hours ago, have to say. So I am very inspired by Kelly Hogan. Thank you so much for your Instagram videos. One thing I can really recommend you: create a new Instagram page, or if you don't have one, create one and just follow carnivore people. So really just the carnivore people they're inspiring, so it will help sometimes when you're down and when you don't feel good and everybody is doing so great, and all these carnivore influencers are having such a great life and you are struggling. I had the same feeling right now and I was pissed off. I was so pissed off. But then I saw one of Kelly Hogan's videos, like it's called Hard Times. It's in her highlights, and it did help me a little bit. She has a lot of videos also talking about these tough times and also about these cravings, because I don't think that lion diet for me is the right time to do it now. And this challenge that I started and now on day 3, it's really pissing me off. It really does, because I do crave the good stuff. I don't crave, like, now I do crave them too, but I do crave more to have like this oopsie cake from Kelly Hogan, with some whipped cream stuff or some eggs, even if I cannot process them very well, or goat cheese or cheese in general. I do crave it a lot, and I think that for me it wasn't the right time to do the lion diet. And I think that's one of the most important aha moments to have, to see that there is the right time to do such things. It's when your body is telling you that you can do it. So on the one hand, in the beginning, I was very good at the first day. It was like, I love my steak. I love how I prepared it. I'm craving my steak. I only eat 2 times a day just naturally, because over the 41 days now, it just built up to this moment that I'm not that much hungry. I do have my cravings under control. I had the feeling that my blood work was totally great and fine. I had the feeling that I'm ready, and I cleaned up everything. I was not alone. I don't have responsibilities for anything right now because my mom and my son are gone for a week. So I did have the perfect baseline to start. But after day 1, it started pissing me off, and day 2 it started to getting worse and worse and worse, and day 3 right now in the morning and until maybe an hour ago, I was done. I wanted to throw everything out of the window and just say fuck you. Fuck you steak, fuck you carnivore. I just don't want to do it anymore. That's so sick. But not carnivore, like the lion diet in general. I still wanted to do carnivore, but the more open animal-based version, but I didn't. So yeah, it's tough. Yesterday, that's why I was so down. I didn't sleep at all, because after day 2, one thing that happened, I did got a meat aversion after my ribeye, and I do eat at 10 and at 4. These are the 2 hours that I'm getting hungry naturally, and I do get hungry even earlier, like 8 or 9, because I wake up at 6. So waiting until 10 is for me a long period of time. And I did have my ribeye and did prepare it very well, so even the fat was tasting good. So this part was okay, but still, I just didn't want to eat it. And I did eat it, and then I was thinking, I don't want to eat in the evening the meat. I just don't want to. It's so disgusting. I can't see it anymore. I am so done. I was so in my head, and my mindset was going really in a bad direction. And then I had some sausages left, which are half pork, half beef. I didn't want to eat pork because I saw that I tend to gain weight on pork, and it's getting me not very nice vibes right now. My stomach is not ready to have the pork, and also my favorite, the pork belly fat thingies, are getting me addicted to them, and I see that my weight is going up if I eat them. So I struggle with pork on the weight part and on the feeling very well part. So I did wanted to don't have it in a lion diet, because you should stick to beef, and for me it was also to stick to lamb, because some of the beef doesn't really fit me well because of my histamine. So I wanted to have this, a little bit of change in between. But I didn't want to eat pork. But yesterday I was just done. And before I wanted to quit, I did eat the sausages. And one thing that I really missed, the 41 days, I didn't use spices at all. I always used just salt because of my autoimmune disease. I thought maybe it's better to use just salt. And I didn't really much, besides maybe 2 days, used mustard. So I did crave a lot of just variation and just even mustard. I would just want to have mustard so bad. And I think that's what's causing me the most problems on the Lion diet, because my body is not ready to fit into these extreme strict thing. But it's good to do it, so you will realize that it's not for me in the end, and I will still stick to it, But I thought myself, I'm gonna do this for 5 days, and this is what I want to do and continue. So I'm in day 3, tomorrow is day 4. We will see if I can really focus myself in the end. But one thing that happened yesterday was severe. It was severe. I had a depression episode, and for everyone it's very different when they have that. For me, it's very major. I had it when I was little, and we have to address it sometimes, because it started when I was very young, and this is why I have tattoos, actually, because they're covering up my scarves. I do have a lot of them, because my depression episodes take something that I just wanted to rip my skin off, and I did hurt myself. So because these emotions that are building up were just, I couldn't stand them, and I needed something physical to get me out of this situation. After I got older and older, I didn't have them anymore in that kind of way, because I realized that it's not mental health. Depressions or these kind of things that I had, these episodes, were not based on my mental health, because I was fine. It was my body was off. It was just something was not right. I had too less or too much of something. And realizing also in the carnivore, the young girls talking, I think the carnivore, I don't know, she was also vegan, and her father did carnivore. I don't know her name right now, I'm following her. And the kids especially, who did carnivore and then stopped eat sugar and then go back to carnivore, who are very young, you see this, they're telling about the same thing. And I saw her last video. It was so, I know what she's talking about, because I felt the same way like she did when I was young, and I don't want my kid to be there. And one interesting thing she said is it was because of the sugar. She realized that the sugar was causing her all these thoughts that she's just wanna, and that was an interesting insight, because I never thought about food being the problem for these kind of thoughts. But just your body is off, something is wrong, and it's not always the sugar. I don't think that. I think sometimes it's also some hormones, sometimes it's just some medication you put in your body. And yesterday, when I had this moment that I just want to rip my skin off, I was scared as hell, because I didn't have that since I was 17, and I got very scared of this whole lion thing. And I was sitting there and crying and thinking, and what is wrong and how can I fix that? And one thing I did, I got on my stepper, I did some workouts with my bike, I did go outside with my dog, I did lay down in the sun. That all helped me in a kind of way. I did get more liquid, you can have more electrolytes. These all things do help. But then I realized that I did get, at the same time as the Lion diet, I did get some nose spray, so I can breathe now better than before. And suddenly I realized that they do contain cortisone, and these can cause major depressions. And I know that because I have multiple sclerosis. So when I have my episode seizures, I don't know the English name for it, I do go to the hospital, and they give me a full cortisone infusion, and they can cause major things in your body, and it's just completely out of control what is happening inside. So that's what I realized, that's this one thing, and also that I quit coffee at the same time, both together, just maybe mixed up everything in my body, went wrong, and I was having these major issues. So I did stop taking the cortisone, spray, but it's still, I have I struggle with the breathing then. So I have to fix it somehow differently because I think that's causing it. And I also started drinking matcha tea, just water and just a little bit of the matcha thing. To when I stopped coffee, it was just too much for my body, and I think that these things were causing me so much headaches, and then I fall into this depression part. And since I had the matcha and put away the nose spray, it went away and I'm getting better. I have the feeling I'm getting much better. And I did have also very cold butter from the freezer. So this thing also helped me a little bit more. And I did have electrolytes. So these things do help. It really helps. And I had the feeling that also me just going into a cocoon, having my hoodie and, my at home clothes, and not feeling very dressed up or just even good in my skin, and just feeling like disgusted sometimes. I just go to my clothes and I say, I'm gonna dress up today, I'm gonna dress up and I'm gonna go outside because it's a beautiful day and I'm gonna feel good. And that sometimes really helps, just to change a little bit of the mindset and the perspective parts, and to clean up and make my kitchen now look beautiful, and just switch it a little bit more up to have the things that are good for me available very easy, and all the other stuff just to store it somewhere else. I don't have anything at home, but still, even the part with something that I'm cooking or this kind of things. So I did have major stomach pain in the night. I was waking up at about maybe 4 hours later, when I did have some pork, these pork sausages, and I did have some bacon, 2 slices, and I did have some of the pork chips, just maybe 3 or 4, these, which are just made out of this pork thing. And this killed me. Something in one of these things were killing me. I was dying. I couldn't wake up. I woke up and I was in so much pain, and my stomach was exploding suddenly. So this was the moment that all came together, and I was like, fuck off, that is not possible. I went through the vegan bullshit going through this, but not that hard. And now I'm on carnivore doing the right things, and now it's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And I was so sick of it. So I started educating myself. I watched so many videos about meat aversion and what to do, about, how to get your mindset into this, how to get your cravings under control. And I tried everything. So it's getting better. But still, my mindset is there to say, after this 5 days or 6 days or 7 days, I want to eat everything. I want to have the cheese and these things. And I'm not sure if this is the right way for me to go. It's a choice. That's what Kelly Hogan also said. You always have a choice, You can think about it, if this will somehow give your life something better. And for now, me forcing myself to do the lion diet without the cheese or the goat cheese or some little bit of ayran, a little bit of yogurt, a little bit maybe of milk or a coffee sometime, not every day, but sometimes, it's just forcing myself to crave even more everything, and just being done and having meat aversions. So one thing I realized, I will try to implement spices, because I did avoid them, but I think that will make a little bit of a difference to have spices. And also maybe just now getting myself to the grocery store, walking there, just enjoying the sun, and then buy some mustard and really, have some mustard sometimes with the meat. I think that will help me to stick to it. And I think that's not something that's bad, actually. So I think that's not something good. If you can stick to this carnivore world with having some adjustments that may fit you, I think that's the best way to go. And all this strict going very well. This is also something that Kelly Hogan said, and it's very interesting. She said there are so many people who just went there and do amazing. They are healing, they are losing weight, they're having such a great time, so much energy. But there is the dark side, and it's 50-50. And this is something that people don't really talk about, because it's 50-50. You don't have just the amazing part and the success stories. You have a lot of people who are doing their best, trying their best, to focusing, to being very, just disciplined and try everything to stick to it. And these people are somehow, having just problems on carnivore. And that's why it's so important to realize and just keep on going, but in your ways, I think, and find answers, because there are so many answers and people are trying to help everyone who's struggling. And don't be devastated if it's not working, because I lost because of the pork fat. I had the same amount of calories. I had the same amount, ribeye yesterday, ribeye the next day. The only thing I adjusted was at one part I did have some lamb chops, and at the other part I did have some sausages, and that made the big difference for me not to lose weight. And not that much that what I was expected, and then not sleeping very well as well. So next day, having this not sleep, it's just cravings all over the place because I didn't sleep at all. So that's one thing. It's just educating a lot with a lot of people in the end. And I hope we will get there together. So whatever you're doing right now, if you, one of my one of the comments, one person said also that they're having a newborn, so congratulations. And then to quit coffee, it's, for me it would be impossible, because babies take time and you need energy. And for me now, being off coffee 3 days, and today started the matcha, I was not able to do anything, and I have to work, so I couldn't just go without anything. But it seems like a little bit of matcha is enough for my body to handle my emotions better and better. So yeah, I don't know what it was today, but it went very well with my energy levels, which I didn't expect since I didn't sleep at all. So yeah, that's a good thing. So for me, I wanted to do, they're promoting these bars, these beef bars. And I wanted to do it myself because they're not delivering to my country. I talked to them. So one thing that I wanted to try, and I had the recipe and it's wrong. So I did put it on 200 degrees to dry out, but I think that they mean 200 degrees and it's 100 degrees. You have to take the half or something, because it's just standing degrees. And sometimes I do have the feeling that I always have to take half in my country. I don't know what's the difference. Yeah, now it burned down. So all my good meat was just burning down, and I'm so sad. I'm not sure if I still can eat it because it's just smelled a little bit burned, but maybe it's not. And try out to make these bars. So maybe I will still try. It just can taste worse. Why not? But I feel I need something crunchy. And for me to crunch my steak up, it just isn't enough. I need this crunch fat. So yeah, I do crave a lot of mustard. So I will give my body that. And I also was craving a lot of tea, and I did gave it yesterday, but it's enough with the matcha tea. I think it's just giving me this peace that I need. I cannot take everything away from my body. I just can't. If somebody, these amazing people, you can do that, I'm so happy for you. I'm not that kind of person. I'm trying very, very hard. This is why I document every day, so people can see how hard it is and tough. I did lose 1 kg now in 2 days, not third day, but in 2 days of this lion diet. So yes, it works in the end. Of course it does, if you restrict yourself that much. But for me, that's not life right now. Right now, I think that you get to this point, that you feel this way, that you can do it easily, that you don't have any cravings, that you can stick to the meat part and everything. But for now, I'm in the phase that I managed 41 days. And I managed to crave the good things, the animal-based things, much more than everything else, and especially cheese and goat cheese right now. That's my cravings, and not like before my popcorn and sugar addiction. It's getting a little bit, quieter. And these animal-based, give me whipped cream, give me the oopsie cake, give me cheese, is getting louder. So I see the difference. I see it. I can feel it. So I think it wasn't my smartest idea to go lion diet and restrict myself. But that's why I will just implement one little thing after another. And today, for the evening, maybe I will just now do the sport part, do the exercise, buy some mustard, some good one, and then just go home and have my dinner and enjoy my mustard. And I do have variation in my beef. I don't have all the only ribeye and these kind of things. I do have everything. So I will just try to variate and go through with it. And yeah, tomorrow, no, the day after tomorrow, I'm invited to lunch, and I'm gonna go lunch with a friend and eat ramen. But I'm trying to have just the egg and the meat in the soup part. So this will be that part, and on Friday I'm going to brunch with one of my best friends. So I need to figure out where to get just eggs and bacon or something like this. So I will start implementing little things. So today it will be mustard. The day after tomorrow it will be, you know, some egg and some cooked meat, and then the day after also some eggs, and try just, you know, if now I can eat them. So yeah. Oh, my dog's just look at him. Look at him. Yeah. So now I'm gonna go, and so happy for you guys if you managed your days to stick to your, and hope to hear from you how you are doing, and see you tomorrow.